What's your favourite lightweight synthetic jacket? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know why. In this video I'm going to compare my two favourite lightweight synthetic jackets of all time. Here I have my Arcteryx Atom LT, and here I have my Arcteryx Atom AR, and the comparison is going to be between these two jackets and this Culumus Climalite jacket. And the big question is, can the Culumus Climalite compete with my two Arcteryx favourites? First of all, give me a quick moment to introduce Culumus. I am super passionate about all my outdoor gear, and until about a month ago I hadn't actually heard about the brand. So I decided to do a little bit of research to see what information I could find out. So they're a Polish brand with 100% production in Poland. They were founded in 1989, and they use really technical fabrics and materials. Now they specialise in down insulation, primarily sleeping bags and clothing. And in fact, their X-Lite sleeping bags, they claim that they are the lightest, or have the lightest warmth to weight ratio of any sleeping bag on the market. So with a little bit of further research into the actual materials and the insulation that was used, I was pretty much satisfied that I was prepared to give them a go and give the Culumus Climalite full zip a try. Now Arcteryx, on the other hand, I don't think needs a tremendous introduction, certainly in my opinion. The brand's been around for a long time. They are a Canadian brand, and they are highly renowned for their quality, their expertise, their design, construction. Pretty much a really premium product, but also with a premium price tag. And lastly, just before I actually jump into the comparison, I just want to point out that no two outdoor enthusiasts going to do a similar task would potentially pick exactly the same equipment. There's always a level of personal preference for any outdoor activity. So first of those criteria that are important to me would be weight. So the Atom LT here weighs 375 grams. The Atom AR weighs 475 grams. And the Culumus Climalite weighs 335 grams. So certainly compared to the Atom AR, the Culumus has a significant weight advantage and a little bit of an advantage as well over the Atom LT. So following on from the weight of the jackets, the next up, or next most important for me, would actually be the warmth and insulation. Now, with down jackets, that's quite straightforward because you can assess the warmth of a down jacket, or in fact sleeping bag, by the quality of the down, that is the fill power or loft of the down, but also the actual number of grams within the jacket or sleeping bag itself. With synthetic insulation, on the other hand, it's very difficult, because there could be 20, if not 30 or 40 different synthetic insulations on the market, where their manufacturers are all claiming that they're lightweight, compressible, warm, and will insulate when wet. Now Culumus use Climashield as their synthetic insulation. Climashield are an American brand with their European headquarters in Poland. Climashield also supply the US military and, believe it or not, Arcteryx with insulation. So what really I'm trying to do here is to establish that the insulation in this jacket is of pretty good quality, and I've no doubt that it actually is. Arcteryx, on the other hand, they use insulation called Haglofs, and it's an in-house product, although I'm sure that someone makes it for them, and they use different densities of that insulation within their jackets. So for example, the density is 60 grams per meter squared within this jacket, and a heavier 120 grams per meter squared in the Atom AR. Incidentally, Culumus use an insulation that is 67 grams per meter squared in this jacket as well. So a quick run through then on the warmth of the jackets. My personal experience with this, which is the Atom LT, is it's not particularly warm, but then to be fair, that is not what it's designed for. It's designed to give you warmth when you are active. So for example, there are extremely breathable fleece panels underneath the arms here. And the insulation would be thinner in this jacket than what it would be in the Atom AR. But I must say the jacket is very breathable, and if you're being active, it does actually keep you pretty warm. Now the Atom AR is actually quite a warm jacket. You know, so the density of insulation is double of what it would be in the LT, and there's no stretch panels, you know, underneath the arms. You know, it's proper insulation, you know, there as well. So you have good insulation in the main body, the arms, actually also in the hood. In my opinion, it's not as warm as what a similar lightweight down jacket would be, but it does actually come pretty close. Now the Culumus Climalite, I've found to be very, very warm, I must say. There is quite a lot of loft in the jacket, and the fit, it's quite a good athletic fit, so it stays in quite close to you. So I have found it really good for insulation. My opinion is that it is as warm, if not slightly warmer, than the Atom AR. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to group comfort and features of the jackets together. And the two Arcteryx jackets, you know, are fantastically featured. So just starting off, the cuffs are really, really good design. They're like a four-way stretch, and they stay in, you know, nice and close to your wrist. But you can also, you don't have to stretch them too much to sort of be able to see, you know, a fairly heavy watch like what I'm wearing at the moment. So cuff design is good. The arms are also articulated, which means they're sort of like kind of cut, you know, for your arm shape. So when you slide your arm into the jacket, you know, you really do feel the arm and insulation hugging your arm very, very closely. And it gives you great arm movement without, you know, restricting your movement. So I can quite easily reach up there, and, you know, the arms are not riding up, but there's no real bunching of the fabric, you know, so the cut is really, really, really good. Now the zipper is like a locking zip, and it has a little zipper guard here behind it, and I must say, you know, it gets in first time and it moves very, very freely without actually really slipping. I mean, I know when I pull like that it will move, but in reality, in use, you know, it never has moved or slipped down on me. So the zip, really, really good. Also then, looking on the inside, you have an internal pocket, which again is zipped, and a nice lining that's not incredibly silky, but it's silky enough, you know, to feel comfortable, and is actually very, very breathable. Now you've also got two zippered hand warmer pockets, and the zippers are protected. There's like different material, you know, here, which is heavy duty and more durable, so you'll not really snag the zippers. And inside you actually have like a tri-cot fleece lining, which is really, really comfortable on your hands. The hem has a two-way hem adjustment, which is very, very easy to do, so on both sides. And it's quite, this particular one here is a medium. It's quite long in me, but it just is a really, really, really good fit. And again, when you're moving or reaching, it doesn't really ride up that much. It stays just in exactly the same place. The outer fabric here is a wee bit heavier. It's, I think, a 30 denier, so it's a little bit more durable. And then we just kind of come down to the hood adjustment. It's a helmet compatible hood. Pops on pretty well. And seals out, you know, weather. And you have a hood adjustment, which is pretty easy to do there at the back. So not too much of a difference here with the Atom LT. Obviously the insulation, you know, is less. Zipper, again, very, very smooth. Works really, really easy. The same zippered inside pocket. It's a slightly different material on the inside of this jacket because it's designed to be more breathable. And the outer fabric is different too. It's a 20 denier as opposed to a 30 denier. But the same sort of thing with the actual cuffs. Hem adjustment is just the one, I think, just to save a little bit of weight instead of having it on both sides. The fleece panels on the side, you know, really give you fantastic stretch and freedom of movement with no restrictions. And again, hand warmer pockets that are fleece and tri-cut fleece lined with zipper protection there with extra heavy duty fabric. The hood design, again, very, very similar. Really good protection on the hood, and also volume adjustable and helmet compatible. So looking at the Culumus Climalite, The thing about this is it's a very, very shiny fabric on the outside, and that is not for everyone. It's a personal preference thing. The zip, it's a two-way zip, and the zip on this is brilliant. I mean, it just slots in so easily, and you have a two-way adjustment there, and it's also, you know, very, very secure. The pocket on this jacket is on the outside, which has the advantage in that if you need to get into it, you don't have to open the jacket, you know, and expose you yourself or the contents to the weather. So it's quite handy with the zip on the outside, and a really good zipper guard here, you know, with extra heavy duty fabric. Pockets again, hand warmer pockets. No protection on these, you know, for the zips, but I must say I've never snagged a zip. I mean, the zips move very, very, very freely, and a double hem adjustment here, which is pretty easy to use. The arms, I don't think they're articulated, so there's a little bit more fabric bunching, but again, when I move up, there's no real restriction of movement there because the jacket has a pretty good technical sort of cut to it. Features that the jacket has that are actually not even mentioned on the website would be there are internal mesh pockets here, and these are large enough to slot in a water bottle. The jacket does also come with a stuff sack. I'm not going to stuff it in, but that's something that the Arcteryx jackets don't come with, and it's, you know, it's a pretty small stuff sack, which is great. Other features, you know, the hood is also helmet compatible. And the adjustment on the hood there really sort of cinches it in the right place. Now, I do want to sort of note, on the inner of this jacket, the lining isn't attached in as many places, or it isn't sewn through in as many places as what you would have on the Arcteryx jackets. So it kind of means that the lining almost like floats in the jacket. Now, personally, I actually really like this because when you put it on, the lining then kind of like really hugs and sucks close into your body. Now obviously if you were being active, and that's not going to be as good for breathability, but for comfort and warmth, having the lining really close to your body, I think, you know, makes a big difference. Now the other thing that I do want to point out regarding comfort is that the lining on this jacket is the most silky, nicest feeling lining that I have ever come across, either in a sleeping bag or a jacket. And it adds so many points to the comfort factor, if that's a way to do it. It just feels incredible against your skin. It really is something special. So the last consideration for me is price. So Culumus Climalite, £129 in the UK. Arcteryx Atom LT, £225. And Arcteryx Atom AR, £250. So it now comes down to my final thoughts and what's my favourite lightweight synthetic jacket, and I'll tell you now, it is actually the Culumus Climalite. It has moved my Arcteryx from their top spots down into second and third. Now the value for money, 2 for 1 pretty much, £129 compared to £250 of the Atom AR, and as I said earlier, £225 of the Atom LT. It is very, very lightweight, 335 grams, so it is lighter than both jackets. I have found it as warm as the Atom AR. The comfort, you know, of this jacket and how it feels next to skin with this Pertex liner is just, you know, fantastic. I mean, it's like going camping and getting into a really warm sleeping bag. This is like pulling on a sleeping bag. It just feels so good. So with that in mind, comfort, value for money, fabrics used, I'm pretty happy that the insulation is as good, or the insulation quality as good as the Atom, you know, as either of the Atoms. If it was breathability you were looking for with less insulation, then it would actually be the Atom LT, because it's a really, really breathable piece. It fits very, very well. It's a nice technical jacket, but it just doesn't have the warmth that I would be looking for. So until the next time, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and let me know in your comments, again, like I said at the start, what's your favourite synthetic lightweight jacket.